Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope that you're good where you are, and I hope as well that the blessings of the Lord are upon your life on this beautiful day. Beautiful day, guys. You have this chance to listen, you have the gift of hearing, guys, on this beautiful day. I hope that you're good, guys, where you are, and I hope as well, guys, I'll repeat it again, that the blessings of the Lord are upon your life. Yes, that the blessings of the Lord are upon your life. Now, today we are going to jump into Esther chapter 1. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the name of our topic for today is, or maybe I should, right? Maybe I should. And our topic for today says that the number one reason why a woman will not respect you. And we find this in Esther chapter 1, right? Now, we did a previous short where we briefly explained it, but today we're going to dive in depth with it, right? And try to understand what is the number one reason that will make a woman to not respect you. That is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, when you go to Esther chapter 1, we realize that there's a king, and his name is Ahasuerus. Now, when you come to this king, he then holds a feast, and the Bible records that he holds a feast, and he orders the expensive wine and lets the people to drink, and all these other things happen, right? And they have fun, they drink, you know what happens on a feast? On a feast, when you're called for a feast, you even prepare yourself, right? If you're called to say, you know what, tomorrow we are going to go on a feast, you're going to prepare yourself properly, guys. Properly, you're going to prepare yourself. You're not even going to eat. You're going to make sure that your stomach is empty, to make sure that you go and feast and make sure that you don't waste any food, right? And I would like to believe this was the same instance here that the king was holding. It says that, and he held a feast for the small and the great, and the people came and they started eating and did all these kind of things, and there was wine and people all drank and all of this. And the queen also is told, the queen Vashti is also reported in the Bible that she also hosted her own feast as well for the female side as well, guys. Now, when the people had now drank and people had now eaten, and now the focus is going to the king. When the king had now drank and he was now full of the food that he ate from his own feast. And now, when you read the Bible then records that the king was now merry. His heart was now merry with the wine. In other words, the king's heart, the things that he had eaten, the things that he had drank, the wine that he had drank was now full in his mind. And his mind was now full of just wine. That's what the Bible is trying to bring to us, guys. That the king his heart was now merry. When they say merry, they mean it's like in abundance, right? So then they'll say that the heart of the king was now merry with wine. Imagine that your king, the one that is supposed to be making the decisions for your life, the one that is supposed to be making tactics of war. Imagine you find out that the king's heart is now merry. Imagine, merry with what? But merry with wine. Just imagine that, guys. So in other words, the king went to the extent of overdoing it, and he went over the board, and his heart was now merry with wine. After he was now drunk, right? Let's just put it in that context. After the king was now drunk, he then calls upon the people that are around him and starts to call them and say, you know what, guys, come closer. Come, I want you guys to go and fetch my queen. When he was sober, he didn't ask for his queen, which is actually a concern. But actually, we are not there today, right? Which is actually a concern, but we are actually not there. Our message is not based there today. When he was now drunk, he then decides to say, you know what? Go and call upon Queen Vashti, right? And says, go and call upon him. Now, the Bible records that Queen Vashti was not just a regular queen. She was not just those type of women that you just see, an average looking woman, an average looking woman and all of that. She was not that. She was, those top women. The Bible says that she was fair to look upon. This is what the Bible records. The Bible records that she was fair to look upon. And then the king calls upon her and says, you know what? I want to show you to the guests that I've invited for this feast, right? Now, mind you guys, as we said, the king's heart is merry with wine. He is not sober at this point. So then these messages that are called upon by the king, they then come and they go and they try to call upon Queen Vashti. And as they call upon Queen Vashti then says, no, I am not going to go there. Guys, it's powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. The queen says, no, I am not going to go there. I understand that he is the king. I understand that he rules over this kingdom. But I am not going to be called upon by a man whose heart is merry, not with ideas, but merry with wine. She then says, I am not going to be called upon by a drunk person. No, I'm not that type of queen. Anyway, moving on, when the messengers then bring back the message, the king then hears this and he says, the Bible then records that his heart was now angry. It says that anger burned up inside him. Anger burned up inside him, and he got so angry. And he was like, what shall we do to this woman that she has refused to come upon my commandment, right? And then they come up with a plan with the people that were around, and then they start to say, you know what, we should make a law, and you should make a decree that if any woman does this, she should be dishonored, and Queen Vashti should not come back to this house, or should not come back to the kings. She has now been banished. And then they now make this law, and then they make, this law, and then they pass it on, and then this law is now made to be a law in that specific kingdom. Now, the point I wanted to bring to you today is that the reason why your woman would not respect you, or a reason why a woman would not respect you, is because you yourself, you don't respect yourself, right? Yes, guys, it's not, I was not going to say something that is external from yourself. The reason why a woman will not respect you is because you yourself, you don't respect yourself. The king went upon to the extent of getting drunk and end up losing his mind, to the point that now he decides, you know what, now I'm going to call upon the queen and show her to the people so that they can look at her beauty. He did not respect himself. He allowed himself to be drunk with wine. And then the queen then said, no. If you don't respect yourself, I am not going to respect you. And this is the thing that we get, guys. And this is the message that I then got, that you know what? A woman gives you back what you give her, but she doesn't give you back as is. She gives it back to you multiplied. Guys, okay, let's look at it this way, right? If you give a woman your seed, does she bring back a seed back to you? She doesn't, right? And I paused for a reason. I want you to think about this. If you give a woman a seed, and I'm not talking about a seed to plant, right? I'm talking about a seed as in sperm. Yeah, I cannot find any other words for that. But if you give a woman your seed, she will not give you back a seed. But what she will give you back is a child. So in other words, a woman's capacity is that what you give her, she multiplies it and brings it back unto you, right? So the king, Ahasuerus, showed himself that, you know what, I don't respect myself. And what did the queen do? The queen said, you know what, since you are giving me signs that you don't respect yourself, guess what I'm going to give back to you? I'm also going to show you that what? Disrespect. This is what we get, guys. That if you yourself don't respect yourself as a man, remember, she is not going to respect you. If you want a woman to respect you, the first step is not to look at her and start quoting verses and start to say the Bible says a woman should submit to her man, a Bible says, and you try to oppress women and try to make them to be oppressed and all of that. No, guys, you shouldn't do that. The first thing that you should do is to make yourself respectable. Make yourself respectable. Be a respectable man. Respect yourself first, and then other people are going to catch on to that, guys. But if you don't respect yourself as a man, don't expect anyone else to come and respect you. Just like this man in the Bible, the kingdom, the advisors of King Ahasuerus, they then come up with the law and say, no. Let's come up with the law that if any other woman does what Vashti has done, she should be dishonored. And this is what happens, guys. When you're not able to respect yourself, now you start to command it using laws instead of it happening as a natural way. Now I can just imagine all those other women that were in their homes. Now they started to respect their man, not because they wanted to, but now because there was now a law that was put, and that they knew that, you know what, if we don't respect this man, we are going to be dishonored. So therefore it was not authentic what they did. And this is what tends to happen when you don't respect yourself. You start to come up with conclusions, you start to come up with laws, you start to come up with all these ideas that, you know what, I need to oppress these people in order for them to respect me. But the main problem is yourself. And that's just the message I wanted to bring to you today, guys. That remember, for a woman to respect you, you need to respect yourself. That's just how it is, guys. It's no other way. There's no two way about it. Before you start quoting Bible verses and telling them, the Bible says, God says, women submit to your man. Women submit and do all these kind of things. Before you start telling all these other kind of things, the first thing that you should do as a man is to respect yourself. And when you walk around and you respect yourself, everyone else will give you what you are giving to yourself. But remember, it doesn't just come back as respect. It comes back multiplied. Guys, I hope you heard the message for today, guys. And I hope as you go forth from today, start looking at the things that you've been saying you're going to do. Another thing, how can you show that you respect yourself? What about those things that you've been saying, you know what, I'm going to accomplish this? What have you done about those things that you gave yourself targets and said, I'm going to pursue this thing and I'm going to do A, B, and C? What are you doing about those things? Are you just sitting back and not doing anything about it? Remember, if you sit back and not do anything about it, it shows you don't take yourself serious. So if you don't take yourself serious, how do you expect other people to take you seriously? Anyway, that's just the message I wanted to bring to you today. And this message is mostly directed to men. So yeah, they will understand. And women will probably understand as well. Yes, everyone is going to understand this message, guys. Everyone is going to understand this message. And with that said, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day going on forward. I hope that the blessings of the Lord will carry you through as you go through the day. And I hope you are able to enjoy your day. And remember, guys, respect yourself and other people will respect you as well. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe as well to the channel, and let us help grow our channel so that it can grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy.